You ever feel like you want to do better and something different, but your body just will not move? You have these goals, these dreams, all these plans, whether they're big or small, but you also have a voice in your head that is consistently telling you that you need to just chill today. You deserve a rest day. You deserve a break. Let's just start next week. Let's start Monday, tomorrow, whatever it is. I literally used to live in that loop, and it's a loop of laziness. That's the only way I could really explain it. It's like you're consistently in a loop of convincing yourself that you can just chill out, and it ends up being longer than it should be, and you never end up getting anything done. What got me out of this lazy loop is what I'm going to share with you today. And it's not just waking up at 5 a.m. or taking freezing cold showers or running 5 miles a day. It is what is called a soft discipline. And today I'm going to give you 7 rules that make it so much easier to exit that loop, and really flips everything for me, being that I've now been able to be consistent with my fitness goals and everything like that. Rule number 4 will help you reverse your entire routine overnight, and not just reverse it, but actually stay consistent. So make sure you stay tuned, because we're going to unpack it all 7. We're going to get into them, and I guarantee you this is not just going to feel like you're getting empty promises. It's going to feel like the permission that you need to actually make the change and stay consistent. And if you're wondering where I am, if you're a consistent viewer, we got a little new setup. But let's get into it. Starting off with rule number 1, which comes down to your structure and how you just structure every part of your day. And I just listened to a TikTok that was talking about giving yourself these small little wins throughout the day. Start off with something that's soft, which is romanticizing your structure. Discipline does not have to look like you're in the military, and I think that's what a lot of people think when they hear the word discipline. It's like, oh, I have to do this and that at this time. We don't leave no room for nothing. But if you make it to where your daily routine feels like your Pinterest board, if you're a Pinterest girl, you know what I'm talking about. It's so much easier to not feel like, oh, I have to get this hour workout in and work out from 5 to 6. But it's like, oh, I have this playlist that I can look forward to. Create you a cute little workout playlist. Romanticize everything. Sometimes lighting a candle can just be that thing that gets it moving. Cleaning your room. It's in the small little things that keep us going. And this is how I do it. So one thing that I've been doing is not forcing a to-do list, which is what I used to do. I will make my to-do list every single morning, try to scratch everything off. No. I start with the things that are around me, especially my surroundings, cleaning my space, making sure that it's clean, it's tidy. I have music going in the background, and it helps so much when it comes to sticking to your habits, because a lot of the times when you have clutter and a mess, you can't get anything done and you don't even realize it. And I've been realizing that the most. When I make sure my room is clean, everything is organized, it's easier for me to open up my laptop and edit. It's easier for me to have my workout clothes on the bed and actually go to the gym. It doesn't feel like I'm punishing myself, and it doesn't feel like this extra thing that I have to do. It literally feels like a practice of self-love. The gift that you can give yourself today is making sure you structure your environment in a way to where it makes it easier for you to get things done. And while we're on the topic of self-love, rule number 3 goes really into self-love, and it's one of the ones that people skip, and it's exactly why they stay stuck in a lazy loop. But we are going to get to that in a second. So make sure that you're structuring your environment in a way that sets you up for success. And anytime you find yourself getting out of the habit of just cleaning up for 5 minutes a day, it can go a long way. Picking up your clothes, putting your laundry away. For me, laundry is the biggest thing. I will leave laundry for a week to a week and a half. I've been getting it out the way. As soon as I dry, get it over with. Rule number 2, we have our bare minimum days that are still considered soft discipline. For me, this is the weekend. I'm putting in the bare minimum. I'm just going for a walk. I'm not going extra hard in the gym. I'm not doing nothing crazy. And it might sound backwards, but when you're able to give yourself lazy days and you identify them as, this is a lazy day, you don't feel like you failed. The bare minimum days do count. That is a rule. As long as you do something, it counts. If you don't make it to the gym on Saturday, but you're able to stretch and go on a walk, or even just write down one sentence in your journal. One thing I haven't been able to do is fill up the entire page. But as long as I put something down on that page, that is still me showing up, and that's still discipline, and it still does count for something. And it feels better, it feels easier, and you're able to still stay consistent without beating yourself up for 2-3 days and then you just fall off completely. Consistency is not about being perfect. It's about not disappearing completely and letting go of your goals. So there is something called the Lazy Day Protocol. And this is what we're going to get into. It's 3 things that I can do that take maybe less than 10 minutes that keep you on track and keep you from getting sucked back into that lazy loop. So whether you are listening to a podcast, whether you're praying, whether you are reading a scripture, whether you're just cleaning up for 10 minutes, whether you're doing your laundry or listening to a YouTube video, whatever it is, it can be done in 10 minutes and it's something that's going to get you back on track. Choose something that's motivational. Don't just like lollygag about it, but choose something that actually will benefit you, if that makes sense. So the second one for me will be cleaning my space, even if it's just tidying up, putting a sweater away. But I'm not just letting things pile up. And that's how we do that. When we don't have these routines in place, things just get to piling up and then you have to spend the entire day cleaning when you can just spend a little bit of time every day. And then the third one is obviously going to be putting time into your look. Super beneficial. Rule number 3 is identifying healing as a form of discipline. This is super helpful for me, and it's one thing that I've had to really accept it. Sometimes I was not being lazy. I wasn't just tired. I was burned out and unhealed. And I think that if you go into some period of your life where you feel like you came completely out of routine, you couldn't do anything, you weren't sticking to your goals, there is a part of you that was so severely unhealed to where you could not literally do it. No planner, no routine, nothing was going to fix that. So scheduling emotional check-ins with yourself, getting a therapist, journaling, and for me, getting back into spirituality has been such a big help. Do not shame yourself for needing rest. That was one of my biggest downfalls. I will always shame myself because I needed to take a break. No. I started really getting back into connecting with my faith and journaling honestly and authentically. Just because you're rambling on a page for 10-15 minutes, that does not mean that you're being authentic to yourself. And I think that's what it was. Like sometimes we view these things as a checklist and not something that's going to benefit us. If you're just getting it off as a checklist, it's not really going to benefit you. So really getting into a practice of forgiving yourself for all the false starts, because healing is what's going to give you the energy to stay consistent. And as cliche as it sounds, so many of us just like go through life. We go through things and we still expect us to stay consistent with everything without addressing what it is really fucking us up, to be completely honest. And that's why a lot of routines do not stick. They're built on top of you already being burnt out. Nothing is going to stick if you already go into it with a million other things that you haven't addressed and you already feel super burnt out. Leading me to rule number 4, which is treating yourself like you would a child that you love. And as somebody who works with children, I think that this one is the biggest game changer for me, because the way that I speak to my students, and I would never say some of the negative things to my students that I say to myself in my mind. I wouldn't call my students lazy, unmotivated. I wouldn't say that they're weak for not staying consistent. This one is kind of life-changing as somebody who works with kids, but constantly reminding yourself, would I speak to one of my kids this way? Would I speak to the 7-year-old version of myself this way? Would I call her lazy? Would I say she's unmotivated, she's weak, she doesn't like herself, she doesn't love herself? No. When you work with kids, you have to be patient, and that's one thing I've learned with myself. Cheer yourself on when you're trying, celebrate your small wins, and most importantly, be patient with yourself. Stop comparing yourself to everybody on social media and what everybody has going on, because you're in a completely different place than they are. So now when I do miss a workout or I have a slip up, tomorrow is a new day. I'm going to try again tomorrow. I'm not going to wake up and spiral over something that already happened. Let it go. We're not dwelling on the things that we cannot get right. You have a fresh start. Most of us have a fresh start if you're watching this video. So take it just as that. Don't dwell over things that are already over. Course correct yourself with kindness. Don't beat yourself up. That's so lame. And that actually makes you be more consistent, not less consistent. Rule number 6 is where things get a little more strategic, because this is how you can turn your emotional energy into actual habits that you can use. But before we get to that one, rule number 5 is stop ruining your progress by punishing yourself. If this is not anything that you take from this video, stop ruining your progress with punishment. I used to do this one thing, and maybe it's something that you're doing too, especially with it being almost May and time to get fit for summer. But I would eat healthy for 3 days, have one bad meal, and then just be like, F the whole week. I'm done. I might as well eat unhealthy, or skip one workout, or miss a Monday, because Mondays for me is like, you never miss a Monday. It's Monday while I'm filming this, and I'm not missing this Monday. But if I was to miss it, I would just be like, F the whole week. That is punishment energy, and progress is about momentum, not perfection. So now I would just be like, oh, I slipped up, but the streak is not broken. It's just a little bent up. You keep going. You don't do extras. And for me, that's a part of me just being dramatic. But self-discipline forgives you quickly and realigns you a lot quicker. Stop beating yourself up because you missed a workout or a meal and just saying, F it, I'm going to eat bad. No. Now, our next habit is something that I wish I would have learned a lot earlier. If you want a habit to stick, tie it to something that makes you feel good immediately. I used to dread journaling until now I could wake up and have it with my coffee. So in order for me to have my coffee, I have to journal. I love coffee. I've never really dreaded working out, but if you dread working out, make it to where you can only listen to your favorite playlist when you're working out. When you connect your habits to things that make you happy, your brain won't resist it as much and it'll want to do it more. The same way my body wants coffee immediately. My body doesn't want to journal, but because I've paired the two, it's a lot easier. So for me, it has become a lot easier to pair the things that I don't like doing with something that I do like doing. In order to watch Netflix, I gotta be editing a video while I'm doing it. Rule number 7, you don't need to be more disciplined. You need to align your identity better. I think one of the biggest secrets that I've learned is that you're not actually lazy. You just don't fully believe in the version of you that is consistent. You don't believe that you can be consistent. So instead of asking yourself, how can I stay motivated? Think of what the motivated version of you would do right now. What would the fire ass body version of you do right now? Would she just snooze her alarm and be like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the gym tomorrow? Or is she already up at the gym dressed, whatever it is? We don't have to feel like doing something in order to do it. Every day, choosing to act like the version of you that has whatever it is that you want and feel like her now is what's going to get you closer to that version of yourself. And just constantly have that in your mind. Like, what is the version of me who already got $100,000 in a bank account? What would she be doing? Would she just be like, F it, I'm going to just blow my whole check? Or would she put 10% up? So if you've been stuck in that loop, as a reminder, you are not broken. You don't need to be harder on yourself. You need to actually be softer and smarter and just a little bit more loving to yourself. These 7 rules didn't just make me more consistent, but they made me a lot kinder to myself, and that makes it easier. So when you mix being kind to yourself with a little bit of structure, that's when you start to really show up as the higher version of yourself. And if this video spoke to you, please leave a comment saying that you're choosing self-discipline this go round. Like this video so more consistent girls out there can find it, girls and guys. And subscribe, because next week I'm going to show you guys exactly how I built my routine, especially when I'm struggling with low energy and overthinking, which is something that I'm still trying to get over. It's like being in my head about everything and overthinking every little thing and just vibe. I will see you guys in my next video.